It's the third week of Cringetober. I'm behind, okay? I get it. But anyone who's doing any of these kind of prompt lists in October tend to not finish 31 drawings in 31 days because, depending on the kind of artist you are, that's almost impossible. Which is why this is a challenge. I'm still, full steam ahead. I'm still on board. I'm still gonna finish it. God help me! God can strike me down if I'm lying. I will finish Cringetober. If it's the last thing I do! It's basically giving me an excuse to be cringe again. To be cringe is to be free. And now it's week 3, so we're right in the middle of it. Before we get into this, I have some contractual obligations. This part of today's video has been sponsored by Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail is a new multi-platform space fantasy turn-based RPG created by Hoyoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact. And if I know my audience, I know some of you are gonna be obsessed with this stuff. Not only is it free, but it's cross-platform as well on mobile, PC, and now on the PlayStation Store. So if you do have any friends, you'll be able to step into the Astral Express together and get to find your favorite fictional character out of the dozens of unique characters and obsess over them, their compelling backstories, their fighting styles, and of course to go on adventures full of impeccable animation and music throughout different planets and save the world. There is plenty of content for you to discover. I mean, look at how gorgeous this video game is! Video games are an art form, and in this essay, I will launching its version 1.4 update. They now have 2 brand new characters, Jinyu and Topaz. Jinyu is a level 5 swordmaster with an ice theme. God, I love a theme. And is also on a path of destruction. I support women's wrongs. Topaz may look like a cute girl, but she's actually an accomplished director of business, so she's gaslight, gatekeeping, girl bossing, slaying her way through anything, but not without her emotional and literal support animal, Numby. Plus the return of another fan favorite character, Zila, who was the first limited 5-star on Star Rail's release, so if you fumbled the first time, you have a second chance. In the update, the main story is evolving too, and this time they're bringing it back to Belobog to see an all-new story. New map, Pillars of Creation and Old Weapons Testing Ground, Ethereum Wars, and 10 free gifts will be waiting for you if you log in for 7 days, which, if you're a nerd, that shouldn't be hard, to get 10 free Star Rail passes and use them to draw Jinyu or Topaz. The link to download the game will be in the description, and you can use this redemption code to redeem 50 Stellar Jade. Thank you Star Rail for sponsoring this, and thank you guys for checking it out and supporting me. Alright, now back to... Wait, what were you watching? So, we are on number 15, which is song lyrics, and I had a very hard time trying to figure out what kind of song lyrics I should do. Because I was like, okay, do I do it from a song that, is cringe, that was can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? However, I already drew Mordetwai. That's their ship name, Mordecai and Twilight, Mordetwai, in the last video, so I'm not doing that shit again. I don't know, Angel with a Shotgun, or, that era. Or should I do something that I would like now, from a song that I like? And instead, I did this, and I don't know if you can already tell what this is, but this is Lord. Yeah. I did this because I wanted to talk about South Park, because I had never seen South Park before. And if you don't know what this is Lord. I am Lord, yeah. But I have never watched South Park before growing up, which, probably a good thing. I started watching it now, and did you know that there's 26 seasons of South Park? That's insane. Where have you been all my life? I love South Park, and I know that a lot of you do, especially on TikTok. I can't tell you how many South Park profile pictures I see every day. But there's an episode where Stan's dad is Lord. And ever since I saw that episode, I just kept saying, yeah, feeling good on a Wednesday. Sparkling thoughts, give me the hope to go on. So that's what I just wanted to talk about that. I'm like obsessed with South Park now.
I'm a South Park kitty.
No, you're not. Oh my god, have you guys seen that person on Twitter with the Randy Marsh shrine room? Let me pull it up. Oh my god. Why is this my bedroom goals? I'm renovating my office. This is my new office. This is my inspo pic. Yeah. But I felt like this was a good one to start off this week because it's one of the more simpler drawings that I've done, and it's funny tee hee ha ha. Oh god, wait till you see the rest, bro. The rest of the shit I do? Wait till we get to number 17, okay? Holy shit! So I thought this one would be fun and silly. And surprisingly, I've never drawn... Well, actually, that's a lie. I was gonna say I've never drawn South Park fan art, but I don't think I've posted my South Park fan art. I love the show. I don't care what you think. It has become one of Joey and I's shows that we watch, you know, because we're an old married couple now. So now we have shows that I can't watch these shows without him or I'm gonna get grounded, guys. Those are the rules. I remember I took that one personality test that like tells you what other fictional characters you had like the same personality as. That way I can figure out who exactly I can because I'm exactly like them. And this was before I watched South Park, but I got Butters and I was like, I have no idea who this kid is. What does this mean? I show it to Joey and I was like, oh, I don't watch South Park, but I got Butters. Is that good? And he just started fucking laughing at me. I love Butters. Okay. Lou. Shut up. Anyway, I don't care if this is cheating for the song lyrics prompt. It counts. Technically, yeah, are song lyrics. Did you know that Trey Parker, the voice of Lord, did the fucking song in Despicable Me 3? That song was on my Spotify Wrapped last year. I was obsessed with that song. Now I know why. Because Lord sang that song. I love Lord. Would you loosen up? Would ya? Why am I singing so much? Sometimes I just need to shut the f*** up, bro. Doesn't Lord look gorgeous? I don't know what else I could say about this. Yeah. It's so f*** stupid. Next prompt. Prompt number 16 is object head. And believe it or not, I have never made an object head OC. Shocking! I feel like I made every single trope and character, like, stereotype that there is, but I've never made an object head character. If you don't know what it is, I kind of didn't either, but I have seen them everywhere. It's pretty fucking self-explanatory. There's an OC and their head is an object instead of a head. No head? But the one that I've seen most of the time is like a TV head. So that's what I was gonna do. Just the classic TV head. The big blocky TV. You know, the one that's at your grandma's house? You know, that's grandma's TV. The one you would watch Tom and Jerry on. Or Days of Our Lives, because that's the only shit my grandma would watch. Or like, what are some other ones? Like Law and Order, Big Bang Theory. My grandparents are total bangers. They love Big Bang Theory. And like, oh my god, the game shows. Like Wheel of Fortune and The Price is Right, Deal or No Deal, you know. Howie Mandel on the screen, and then you go past it and you just feel the electricity. Oh my god, why were their TVs like so big? You know, the ones that were like, they just sat on the floor? That is not what this TV head is. That would have been funny though. Just a big, oversized, heavy as hell piece of furniture. That's not a TV, that is That is a metric ton of technology just sitting in the middle of the room. Do you feel the static from TV anymore? Kids these days have it so easy. We gotta put lead back in the paint. Gotta put mercury in the water. Gotta put static back in the TV. Gotta humble those kids. Give them radiation poisoning from our China set. Bro, what the fuck? Back when I was younger, I tried to watch Max and Ruby and got TV cancer. But I feel like I wasn't very creative with it. But my thoughts for this character was like, let's do a gamer. Because I'm a gamer now, guys. If you don't know, I love playing Baldur's Gate. And Hawkeye Star Rail. Don't forget to check the description. But I wanted to do like a messy little gamer in like their bedroom. I kind of love how this turns out. Because I wanted to do like the video game controller, soda cans in the room, like tapestries on the wall, a beanbag chair. Oh my god, I kind of miss when I had a beanbag. Oh, beanbag chairs are such a mess. I got a memory foam beanbag chair, and I was so excited for it. And then when I went to open it, it was like the foam is just cut up mattress, and it was f***ing everywhere. I would be vacuuming weeks later and still get mattress foam from my carpet. It was f***ing everywhere. It was in my clothes, it was in the carpet, and then it was in the air, and then it was in my lungs, and now it's in my blood, and then it was in my beanbag chair. We had fun with it for a while, and then Louis thought it would be fun to piss on it. Oh, that boy loves pissing on all my stuff! Anyway, I miss my beanbag chair, but my cat peed on it and ruined beanbag chairs for me. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Oh, I was saying I wasn't really creative with like a TV head, but I felt like it needed to be done. Like, as an artist, I need to have that in my portfolio, okay? I can't be a cringe artist if I've never made an object head character. When I was doing my research for this, I also saw like a bunch of other kind of objects for people's heads that were like so much cooler than mine. Like a gumball machine that's just Benson, right? But like there are so many examples of object heads, and when you look them up, the Jack in a Box mascot is on there, and I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I see edits of Jack, and they are kind of hot. Are there even Jack in a Box, like, in Utah? I don't think I've ever been to one, but, like, something about that big white ball for it. Something about his pointy nose. No, it's because in the commercials they make him hot. The director knows what they're doing. They're like, you need to put on this slutty little getup and, you know, we're gonna sexualize you. It is not the director who does that. It's me. I'm doing it. Jack in the Box. Oh my god. He's in a suit? Oh my god, the one where there's Wattpad stories of him? Oh shit. Guys, I gotta leave real quick. God damn. Jackbox. Dilf. He's a father? He has at least 2 children. Why am I learning about Jack in the Box lore right now? What the f***? Is he married though? Dominating in a capitalistic and threatening way. Of course capitalism ruins everything. Guys, I'm soft now. But there are so many more creative designs than this. You know what? Because of the spooky season, I should have done like a jack-o'-lantern, but I feel like that wouldn't ring true to Object Head. But I thought, you know, I don't think I'm ever gonna draw this character again, but if I do, gamer. This person is a gamer, and you can tell because their room is a mess. But I also wanted to do a cool thing with like the lighting where I feel like this person would have a room full of like those LED lights all across their ceiling. So I wanted the room to be like red or like a pink with the head being blue, and then the lighting from the blue. I think it turned out cool, okay? I don't have to explain shit, but I do anyway, because I feel like I owe you an explanation. But I think they turned out really cool. I do not have a name for them. Maybe HDMI or input. But if you have any name suggestions, put them down below. I'll make one of them canon. The Kelsey animated canon. Okay, whatever. Sorry, I can only think about Jack in the Box right now. Let's go to the next prompt. Number 17 is fake anime screenshot. And holy guys, this one took 4.5 hours to do. Holy Also, technically, The Legend of Vox Machina is an anime because it's made, isn't it made by the same studio who did The Legend of Korra? I've never seen it, but God, I love that studio. Guys, I'm such a nerd. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I love The Legend of Vox Machina, and I love Critical Role. And so I was like, I need another excuse to draw my D&D character. Let's do a fake screenshot but if our campaign was created by the same studio. Yes, this is indulgent. Yes, I'm a fucking nerd. This is what Cringetober is about. I wanted to draw all of our characters for Joey's campaign. I don't know if I've told you that again, but Valak, the blue tiefling, is my character, and I love her, and I talk about her all the goddamn time. She's from Joey's campaign, and my first D&D character I've ever created. This is her party. So the big guy is Chad. He is basically Steve Irwin, but he's a veteran. He served in Vietnam. That's canon! Vietnam is real! The guy on the right is Luke. He says that he's half elf and half dwarf, but I doubt it. And he's also a furry because he contracted lycanthropy the other day. And, low-key, on the down low, everyone in the party ships Valak and Luke together. And the satyr is Pebble, basically the child who takes care of all of our legal documents. They're all written in crayon, and he may or may not be a killer, but he's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. I didn't mean to kill your brother. I'm sorry. I'm just a little guy. And the hat in the corner. He's gonna be so fucking mad about this. But listen, let me explain, please. The guy in the corner is a hat, but he's a grung. He's a little frog pirate who may or may not possess the magic of an ancient evil. It's no big deal, I swear. And he's gonna be so pissed. Malvo. But he's the shortest of our group. So I was thinking, if this... Okay, hear me out, please! If this is a show and an anime, this is a screenshot from that anime, from our show. And I think it would be a funny bit that if only his hat was in frame, because he's like, I don't even know if he's 4 feet tall. His little minifigure that we use on the board, his hat takes up half of his height. So I think if this was in a show, it would be a really funny bit if it was only Malvo's hat in frame. Okay, that's my reasoning. And also, I didn't have a reference to go off of for a grung. And like, Pebble, the satyr, is short too, but Vox Machina, oh spoiler alert, has a satyr in it because they go to the Feywild, and guess what? We're in the Feywild right now! That's not what the screenshot is from. Screenshot. This isn't what the scene is from. You can see like all of the characters like when I go back to like look at their references because I drew them all individually and it took forever. But I love it and my friends loved it and hearing their feedback made it all worth it. Because they told me that it sucked and I should just quit art. No. They loved it. But also this scene of them, when I was thinking of like what scene to do from our campaign that would be in a show. I sound like... Guys, D&D is my special interest. Can you shut the f*** up and let me talk, please? But I was like looking through my notes of our campaign. Cause I'm a note taker. Not in the slightest. But I like do these little doodles of like funny moments that happen at our table. And one of them was, so we had infiltrated. We had come across this like bandit camp and we killed all of them. And when we went inside their building, their like hideout, there was a dead man in the corner. I took a picture of my notes and I put it in here for reference, I think. If not, I'll put it up on screen. We go into the room and there is a dead man in the dark corner. And I was like, okay, well maybe I don't want to do that. We find his chest that these bandits stole from him. But he was a jeweler that had gotten robbed by this bandit camp. And we were like, ooh, yay, loot! Hold on, pause. Do you think it is ethical for us to take this dead man's stolen money and gems? And I thought that moment was really funny. I made Valak specifically stare not at Luke asking the question, but staring at the chest. Because she likes stealing things and money and sparkly shiny things. So she wants to take it really badly. Spoiler alert, we do. And Valak finds these pearls and is like, dibs. These are my pearls, goes back to town, pays for them to be fashioned into a necklace. I literally drew it on her when I redid our outfits because I was like, pearl necklace, accessory from a mission that we did. And then later on in the campaign, we find this merchant and we're like, this guy's name is really familiar. And then he's like, yeah, my brother is a jeweler. So instead of our fun little shopping episode, we have to tell this man that on his way to come see him, his brother got robbed and murdered, and I am wearing his pearls as I tell him this. I also thought about drawing that part, because that part was really funny. But I wanted to draw more than just Valak, because that's all I've been doing. I gave the pearls back to him. He had to come to grips with his brother's death, so he had to leave the shop and come back later. We could have just not told him, by the way. Anyway, holy this drawing took forever. When I was drawing it, there were some parts of their style that I was like, I do the same thing. Strange. It was like the nose shading and the lip, the shadow under their neck all the time. I do that just in black. It was just surprising to me. I do some of the shit that they do in here. And I was like, how cool is my art style? I'm delusional and insane. But oh my god, this took forever. I am proud of it. I feel like I've stared at it for so long that I can't tell if it looks like a real screenshot from the show. Like, I feel like you can still tell that I drew it. I can't believe I spent this much time on it and I'm not even like, oh yeah, it looks just like from the show. No, not really. But I would rather do this again than try and copy My Hero Academia. It's so funny because I actually did that. And I just never posted.
Did you guys know that I'm a My Hero Academia?
Sorry, that secret did not want to come out. But anyway, I love Dungeons and Dragons, and this is my character and her party in an animated series. And I think that's really cool. Maybe if I didn't have to draw so many characters, it wouldn't have taken this long. I could have done the easy route and just drawn Valak in this style, but I didn't, so you're welcome. That comes later. I draw her again! Don't be mad! Number 18 is an old art redraw. Let me tell you something. I was very indecisive about what to redraw because I have a couple characters like once a year I would redraw them. A majority of my time on the speed paint was just me trying to pick what characters of mine to draw. Trust me, babe, I got a ton of them. I almost did a Sophie redraw. So like one of the first speed paints on my channel was me drawing one of my characters, Sophie, and I was really proud of it at the time. I thought the lighting was really good. Maybe I'll do that on my own time, because I decided against that and a bunch of other characters that have been lost and forgotten to time for these characters that have been lost and forgotten to time. I picked out these two characters because I've really only drawn them like a handful of times, but every single time I've drawn them, it's been like a year or two later, and then I'm like, oh yeah, these two exist. I should draw them. Basically, I didn't name them until like barely like one of the last times that I drew them. I don't know where I got these characters from. Like, I don't know if they're a reference to anything or just in the Kelsey animated universe with like Dick and Ronnie, Steve and Jeff. There's a lot of characters in that universe that I can't think of names right now, but trust me, there's a lot of them. They are just side characters and I have forgotten about them completely. But I made these two ladies. I have the old references for them in the corner of my canvas. So the one in the very corner is from 2015 when I first made them. The one below it is the next one that was made in 2016. The one on the right is my most recent one, which is 2020. Holy shit. Oh, how time flies. And honestly, I just wanted to draw a couple punks, you know? I draw gay people so much. Something inside me just loves to make characters fall in love with each other, no matter what intentions I give them. I gotta like grit my teeth. I'm foaming at the mouth trying not to make them queer. And every time I redraw them, I'm like, are they just friends though? Historians would call them just friends. I would also like to call them just friends. They're besties. Guys, rare gap sighting. I can make characters that are just friends. But I love romance. It's so hard. They're just friends. Maybe. Let's do a poll. Chat, are these gals friends or are they Their names are Mars and Coda, but they're just a bunch of punks. I wanted to do, you know, small town punks. Not, I gotta get out of this town. But they do like graffiti. They're just little guys. They'd probably go to art school or like some college. They go to the skate park all the time. They're just a couple gals and they're cool. That was my main goal, is to just make cool gals. Cause that's what I wanted to be. To be a cool gal with purple hair and a skateboard who does petty crimes and doesn't respect the police. They would be, if I saw them in a grocery store, first of all, I'd be scared of them. I'd be intimidated, but also I'd be like, oh my god, they're really cool. You know, I hope I get that vibe across. But I always draw them, like, basically doing the same thing. Like, they're just standing there talking to each other, side by side, or posing with a peace sign. I don't know, I wanted to do something different, and I'm really bad at perspective. I hate perspective, okay? I hate the grid, I hate the lines. When I was in school, in art class, we had to do a lot of, like, perspective and draw your horizon lines, 3-point, 2-point perspective. It's so cool, and I commend artists that do perspective stuff. And oh my god, it's just hell for me. I just want to draw the silly little characters in my head. I don't want to draw good ones. I remember I saw on Pinterest like these photos of people like posing in those big round mirrors that kind of give like a fisheye lens. So I kind of wanted to do that to like do perspective, but not really, you know? That way I could cheat around it.
Technically, this would be a 4-point perspective because the line goes to 4 points.
I get it. Every artist needs to learn it. It's one of the foundations of art. There are rules. But I just want to draw silly guys. I just want to draw people in love. Is that so hard to ask? You know, Joey, he says that he isn't an artist. Which, I mean, understandable, but he's not bad at it at all. But he did take an art class, and he said that his favorite shit was perspective because it had, like, there were rules to it. I don't like rules. I'm a rule breaker. So that's why I drew these two rule breakers. Yes, that's the connection I made a while ago, not just now. The way that I drew them now, I was like, me and my besties love going to get a sweet little treat at a store or a gas station that would have one of these big ass mirrors. So I was like, they're in their small town gas station getting a little sweet tweet. I don't have any lore for them. They're just two besties. But if I were to make them a couple, it would be because I would probably, hypothetically, I would make it so they're like, men suck. They're like, men are terrible. If we're single by this age, we should just marry each other. And then the age that they pick out is like next week. They're like, oh my god, if I don't get a boyfriend within a week, we should just get hitched and go to Vegas. Their best friend, me and your best friend. I married my best friend. They're just friends right now, guys. That was just a hypothetical. Even though I hate perspective, I think this turned out alright. Like, the proportions are okay. Like, you can tell that it's supposed to be a fisheye. Okay, Clip Studio Paint has this fisheye tool. It has this asset that, like, you can create a fisheye effect. And I so badly wanted to do that with this, where I, like, finish everything and then I just give it a little bit of distortion. But that would be cheating, and I didn't do that. Except, okay, I did do that for the background, but that was because I didn't want to draw a f***ing convenience store. So I took a stock photo, blurred the f*** out of it, and then used the fisheye tool. I just wanted to draw characters. I hate doing backgrounds. I commend background artists because I hate doing that shit. I'm a character artist. I like drawing the little guys that I come up with in my head and nothing else. Did that make me a bad artist? Probably. But I still get to draw the silly people in my head, so everything is fine. And mentally, I am stable. Number 19 is doll/puppet. Honestly, to be honest, the last time I drew like a puppet or like doll themed creature was probably back when I was into My Little Pony. I drew my persona in like a horror, like gore. It was gross, okay? It's like one of the first posts on my Instagram. It's terrible. You know, times were so different back then. So when dolls and puppets were the prompt, I was like, oh, that was the first thing my head immediately thought of, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Because I think it's cringe, which makes sense because it's Cringetober, but I was like, I want to do a cool piece, and I haven't drawn Baldur's Gate in a while. So I was like, Warlock, Will, I have to draw Will. I think he is criminally underrated, because I see edits on TikTok of Asterion and Halcyon and Karlach and Shadowheart, but I rarely come across a Will edit. I saw a TikTok pointing out that, like, if you go on like Etsy or something and you want like Baldur's Gate merch, try and find something for Will that doesn't include the rest of the cast. You will find like a ton of Astarion shit that's just Astarion. And Shadowheart, whenever Will is in something, it's always like a group. Like, it's all of them. Sometimes there will even be merch with the whole cast that doesn't include him. What the Nothing is for Will. You know, give him the love he deserves, you bitches! Stop being mean to him! Honestly, I am at fault. I go to AA meetings, Asterion Anonymous, because I have a problem. Honestly, I love every single follower except Minthara because I can't take out the tiefling in the druid grove. I can't do it. I don't care if she gives you head. I don't like consequences of my actions. I'm gonna kill that bitch every single time just so I can have her camp clothes because they look hotter on my character. Thank you. Anyway, what was I talking about? Will is underrated and I have not romanced him. I only have 2 playthroughs right now. And I just made it to Moonrise because I'm so scared. I've never been in Act 3. So there's still a lot in store for me. Don't spoil it. I will only get to play this for the first time once. So shut the up and let me enjoy things. I've been busting out these videos. I haven't played Baldur's Gate in so long. But I do plan on romancing every single character for at least 1 playthrough because how can you not? I need to unlock all the romances. That's the way I like to play, okay? I like to play the game with no stone unturned. I like to find all of the secret things. I like to interact with people after every encounter. I will talk to every single character just to make sure that they don't have any new dialogue. And then when I'm romancing people, I will get to the point where I can ask for a little kiss, and before every battle, before every shopping spree, I will go back and give them a little kiss. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. I save scum all the time because I want I want the best outcome for me. I will save scum. If I upset anyone and I deeply regret it, I will go back and save. There have been multiple times where I'm like, let's just kill these motherfuckers. But I'm like, okay, well, just in case, let me save real quick. And then I will defeat them. Save again, go back and see what would happen if I don't kill them. Usually, I go back to the killing them save. I just want to see what happens. But I understand that a lot of people are not like that. They're not insane. And they're like, I'm gonna play the game like a handful of times. Like, I'm not just gonna play it in one go and be done with it. I know that I'm gonna play it again, so I don't need to uncover everything because on my 2nd or 5th or 18th playthrough, there's still gonna be like new things and that I've never seen before, and it keeps the game new. Me, however, no. I mean, I might miss some things, but I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. Oh, I was saying I will romance Will, because, okay, in my first playthrough, I was romancing Karlach. It was a couple updates ago. There was this glitch where, I mean, kind of Karlach spoilers, but I was going to be intimate with her. And she was like, can't wait to see you tonight. I'm so excited. And I was like, oh my god, I love this woman. And then when I went to bed, I didn't get a Karlach scene. I didn't get a fun little cutscene. I got Will dancing. And I was like, what the is this? He was doing his little dancey dance, and he wanted me to dance with him, so I did. I mean, okay, obviously I knew this was a glitch, but I was like, alright, let's see what's going on. Didn't unlock any romances with this man before this moment. So I danced with him, and then he was gonna kiss me, and I was like, I can't do that to Karlach. It was such a cute moment, and then I had to reject him, and I felt bad ever since. There is going to be a playthrough where I make someone for him that will be perfect for him, because he's just like the classic romantic, you know, like his story is so good with Mizora and everything and breaking his pact. He's the reason why I changed my class to Warlock, because I was like, okay, if you're a paladin in the game and you break your oath, you have this guy come up to you. He's an oath breaker and you get to like interact with him, and he's like in your camp or something. So I was like, ooh, if I'm a warlock, because Will has all this cool stuff, I was like, maybe I'll get like a little interaction with like my patron and stuff like that. Spoiler alert, you don't. But I understand why we don't all get that, and it's because Will is special and has a storyline that has to do a lot with his patron, so it makes sense. I've also heard rumors that you can f*** his patron though? I don't think that's true. But Mizora, the first time I saw her, I flirted with her, and Will disapproved, and I was like, why the It makes sense why he would, but like, what the bro? Help me out. So for this puppet theme, I was like, yeah, this makes sense to be Mizora and Will. And I gave him horns. I gave him the horns because this is kind of spoilers too, so if you don't want to hear it, just like skip a little bit. It'll be quick. But like, I gave him the horns because if you don't kill Karlach, he gets punished for it, right? Because you went in and killing Karlach, gets the horns. But I also think that he's hotter with them. I think he's hotter when he looks like a devil. This man became so much hotter when his life fell apart. I think they should have made him have tails and pointy ears and not just the horns. God, he's so hot. I need to romance him. Maybe that says something more about me than anything, because my first encounter with Raphael, he's in his, like, human form, right? He started talking in riddles, and I was like, this bitch loves to yap. Somebody tell him to shut up. And then, turns out he's the devil from the Bible. And then I was like, you know what? He's kind of sharp. He got linguistics. But then I'm still like, oh my god. Gail, can you shut up? But yeah, I don't know if I have a type. But Will is definitely hotter with his demonic form. All you Gale girlies, I don't understand you. That boy will not shut the up. But I will romance him in another playthrough, just not now. But I have not finished this storyline because I overthink every decision I've ever made in that game, and I'm scared. But I love it so much. And I love Will. I'll give him a chance one day. I feel so bad for rejecting him. This is my public apology to Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers. I will not reject you next time. Isn't he so dreamy? I think it turned out really cool. I hope so. I know that the strings and the fingers don't match up with Will. Actually, I'm a ventriloquist and those strings would not match. Yeah, I don't care. It looks cool. Sorry if I talk about Baldur's Gate so much. I'll talk about it later. I'm sure I'll talk about it for the end of time, so I don't care. I like how this turned out, and I like Baldur's Gate, and I like talking about it. Anyway, I need to shut the up. We're halfway through, bitches. Don't worry, we're getting there. Even though I hated the prompt puppet, this is one of my favorite ones that I've done, especially this week. But that brings us to number... I'm not even gonna try and pronounce this. But it's some type of disease. It's not real, I don't think. I have never heard of it before, so I had to look it up. And I've seen it before. I've definitely seen it before because it's when a character is like coughing up flowers. I'm sure you've probably seen something like that before. It brought me back. But I was like, oh, if someone's coughing up roses, it definitely has to be Pearl from Steven Universe. I didn't really have a lot for this one. After the Will one, I kind of ran out of steam. But I was like, okay, I'll draw Pearl. I haven't drawn her in so long, and she was probably my favorite character when I was watching the show. We all know me for the My Little Pony era, but the Steven Universe era is underrated and not talked about as much because I would record the episodes just so I could watch them immediately when I get home. I was just so into Steven Universe. Like, I think I did a lot of My Little Pony art. Probably the second most drawn thing that I've done is Steven Universe. Like, it did so much. Like, it was such a big part of my art career. Like, my Steven Universe arc really, it shows up. Like, you could definitely see it sometimes. It influenced me so much. When the movie and Steven Universe Future came out, I was like over it. That phase had already came and went, but I watched it anyway. The movie was good. I liked the music in it a lot, and I felt like they had the right amount of seasons to tell the story that they were going to tell. However, never watched Steven Universe Future. I can't really remember it all that much, but I just know Spinel was annoying as shit. Really good villain. Her backstory is crazy. Yet another person that Rose Quartz up for like years, for like centuries. But I am also a Rose defender at heart because she's the villain of the story, but her story was told backwards because it was like, I mean, spoiler alert for Steven Universe, but her villain arc was told backwards because it was like a shock. I mean, the fandom predicted that shit like a while ago, so I wasn't surprised. She was doing good for herself. Like, she was trying to understand humans and she thought everything was over. And like, yeah, she ran away from like Spinel and she did some shitty things. But before she has Steven, she was very hopeful and wanted this wonderful world for her son. Didn't care that it f***ed up everyone. I don't think Rose Quartz would have had Steven if she knew all of the shit that he would have to deal with. You know, she is a good person. She was a bad person, but now she's a good person. Lumpy doesn't agree with me. You've never even seen Steven Universe. But, like I said, Pearl was like one of my favorite characters, if not the most. Actually, my favorite character was Peridot, but that was before they reformed her. Like, when she was the bad guy, she was my favorite. But Pearl, I just love all of the damage that Rebecca Sugar gave her. And then all of the songs, oh my god, the Steven Universe songs are so good. I literally, 1 year for Halloween, went as Rose Quartz. I don't even think I went trick-or-treating. I think, guys, I think I just cosplayed Rose Quartz during October. I just love Steven Universe, and that time of my life was so much simpler back then. And Steven Universe it's such a good story and really well told. I wish there was more fighting in it. That's my one critique. I want to see people go apeshit. I want to see the gems go sicko mode. But here is the finished pathetic lesbian. I love Pearl. I love her. It felt nice to draw her again. Alright, number 21. Guys, that's the last one of this week, and I was tired. I was tired as shit. I'm drawing Valak again. Boo! Boo! Shut up, I love her. But the prompt was 100% saturation, and I took it very literally. Because I didn't want to use a ton of color. I tried to make it work. I just wanted to do the bare minimum. It's the end of the week, I'm tired, I want to draw my comfort character. So technically, at the end of this, it is 100% saturation, but there's only a few colors. What I think the prompt meant was like, you know, when people would make Mary Sue's and like have a rainbow colors on their furry, and it would hurt your eyes to look at because it's just 100% saturation of every color possible. I didn't want to do all that. I don't know if I have a character like that even. And so technically, this is 100% saturation. I'm drawing Valak again. I like how it turned out. As if I don't talk about her enough. I gotta make it a little different, right? I'm doing the bare minimum. I can't just draw like a headshot of Valak. So I did that again. But I made it so that she was younger than how she is now, so I could talk about her backstory. You clicked on this video. You knew what you were strapped in for. But also, just give it a little bit different. It looks very similar to the MS Paint one I did. Like, they give the same kind of vibes. But, I don't know. Someone come to my defense, please. I need a lawyer. This was the last one of the week. I'll do better next week, guys. I swear. But I drew her when she was rich and still had a family. To be very specific, this is probably the moment she is considering murder. Hence, the red on the half of her face and the blue on the other half. But she's considering murder, I think for the first time, on her own father. Guys, I made the most stereotypical rogue character with daddy issues. And I love her so much. I don't think you understand. Well, I hope you'd understand, because I can only think about her. If I were to play Valak in Baldur's Gate, it'd be over for you guys. One day I will. And I don't know who she would romance. Because right now in her home game, like the one she's actually in, she kind of had a thing with her childhood friend Liar, who is a bard. But now also possibly a sorcerer. So I'm thinking Gale, or I'll probably do a Starion again. Who am I kidding? But if my other D&D character, Kosef, were to romance people in Baldur's Gate, it'd probably be Karlach, and Shadowheart, and Lae'zel, and basically all the women. Valak is quite the opposite of Kosef. Not because she's straight, but also that. But because Kosef is going through an arc. Oh god, they're both. Guys, turns out I love love and I love romance. But Kosef is going through an arc on how to not be a boy. And Valak will go through an arc on not running away from people that she cares about. Because that tends to be a theme. So this piece right here is right before she runs away. Because in her backstory, her family was kind of like nobles. And her dad, being a corrupt politician, she was like, maybe I should take matters into my own hands and kill this guy. Definitely for the greater good. And definitely not because I resent him for all the things he did during my childhood. But because it'd be for the greater good. And then, Mom catches her in the act, and she runs away from her family and never went back. And then she found Liar, her friend, and they ran away being criminals together. And then he got thrown in prison, and then she ran away, and then she got adopted by a dwarf. And then he helped them get into the Feywild, and now Joey's been making hints that he's probably going to get kidnapped in the Feywild. And then Valak will not run away from the party. Probably. But that's her thing, you know? Kosef's thing is that she's a boy. You don't have to be a bard to romance everyone, okay? In the game, Kosef has 3 women on her roster right now. One is a tiefling named Juliet, who had stolen one of their weapons and was in, like, this black market trade. And then the second one is a guard for probably some corrupt police in the city who is running for mayor. And she's probably not a great person. Kosef will rig the election for her because she folds. And then the last one is her ex-girlfriend, who is a literal pirate captain, but like an evil pirate in also probably the black market. So her track record. Kosef is very easy. And sometimes she just has to be like, wait a minute. This might be a bad person, actually. Sorry, I like to have fun. Sorry, but given the opportunity to flirt with my friends at the table, I will take it. I got real lazy for this last one, and I apologize. But I think there are some bangers in here. Let me know what one is your favorite. And I will see you guys next week for the last Cringetober. I know it's gonna come out in November. F***ing shoot me, I guess. But the last week, instead of 7, there's gonna be 10 left on this next one. So buckle up, okay? Put your thinking caps on. Put your hearing aids in. Because I'm not gonna shut up for a long time, okay? I might try and cheat and, like, combine maybe 2 of the prompts, but personally I feel like that's cheating, so let me know if I can. But I will see you guys pretty soon, so ta-ta for now!